So, number one, under the Civil Service Commission rules, there is no allotted leave for the President and Vice President. No public funds were used for all my travels. I did not charge representation. I did not charge tickets. I did not charge per dime for all my travels.
Ayan nga ho mga kapatid, nakikita nyo po ba? Ito, ayan, yan nasa taas ho natin. Lagi ho kasi siyang binabanatan kahit saang plataforma ng media. May mga balita ho dyan nakalat-kalat, pero ano pong ginagawa nila mga kapatid? Binabanatan ho si BP Sara na hindi nagpapakita, hindi dumadalo. O ayan na mga kapatid. Nung nakaraan po kasi, hindi nga siya nakadalo dahil ayaw siyang papuntahin. Mismong ayaw siyang papuntahin patungkol nga dyan sa budget ng OBP. Ngayon mga ka-update, ngayong araw na to, September 16, dumalo ang ating BP Sara para ipahiya etong mga tao rito. Yung mga question sa kanya patungkol sa mga saan dinadala ang mga pondo at binabudget niya bilang Office of the Vice President, bilang Vice Presidente. Kaya ngayon mga kapatid, itong araw na ito, sumagot na ho siya, dumalo ho siya dyan. Diba? Ngayon, natameme ho sila. Inilabas niya ho lahat ng kung magkaano ang budget, magkaano ang nagagastos. Kasi mga kapatid, isipin yun, lagi ho siyang tinitire. Diba? Yung confidential funds na lang mga kapatid, yung 125 million, wala ho silang sapat na ebidensya. Tapos na po ang usapan doon. Pero ngayon, sa lahat ho ng may confidential funds, mga kapatid, nagsilabas. Sa Office of the President, mga kapatid, nasa billion nga yung confidential funds sila. Lahat ho, sobrang lalaki namang confidential funds. Bakit siya hong pinakamababang confidential funds, binabanatan ho siya ng binabanatan? Yan ho, ang malaking katanungan dyan. Kaya mga kapatid, makikita natin na napaka-bias ng media. Diba? Halos sa mga media, mga kapatid, bayad. Diretsahan lang ho tayo. Karamihan sa mga media na yan, mga kapatid, bayad ng admin ni Marcos Jr. o ni Tambaluslos. Kaya mga kapatid, pakinggan ho natin itong naging pahayag ni BP Sara. Diretsahan na po. Wala nang patumpik-tumpik pa.
Representative Gerdy Veloso, Assistant.
This is mandates. Opening remarks. We'll just proceed to the presentation prepared by the Office of the Vice President. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency. COMSEC, please play the presentation of the Office of the Vice President.
Behind every milestone are the stories of countless
57 million. Other MOOE, 1,405,000. Subscription expenses and others, 19,891,000. For a total of 673,753,753,000. And this is capital outlay of 16.604 million or 1.84% of the budget. It is all for ICT equipment of 16,604,000. This is an upgrade duly approved by the Department of the ICT. Duly approved by the ICT. By appropriation source, so this is agency specific. For the agency, it's 889,236,000, and then for ARLIP, it's 13,695,000. So these are our 2026 targets per activity. We have Magnegosyo Taday individual. Our target beneficiaries is 1,980 for the amount of 29,700,000. Magnegosyo Taday, for groups, we have targeted 66 groups for 9,900,000.
Nakikita po ba natin kung ano ang pinagkakaiba ng Office of the President sa OVP, Office of the Vice President. Meron po lahat, di ba? Kitang-kita po natin na merong resibo bawat gastos nila. Nakikita naman po natin, no? Karamihan ho sa mga resibo ni OVP, ni Miss Vice President, nakaano po, patungkol sa pagtulong sa mga Pilipino. Ayan, no? 1.2 million commuters, 1,800 volunteers, 50,000 IND, family, yan. 55,000 families. Ayan mga kabdito, halos pagkatulungan, di ba? Tumutulong mga kabdito, tignan nyo yung kasunod po, 200,000 learners. Oh. Di ba? Nakikita po natin na gusto talagang paunlarin ni VP Sara ang ating bansa. Pero hindi ho yan nakikita ng mga media, hindi ho pinapakita sa ang plataforma, kahit sa social media. Kasi nga mga binabayaran ho ang mga iyan. Yan lang po ang pagkakaiba sa ating OVP at sa Presidente.
For the Pagbabago campaign, we targeted 200,000 learners, and that is 100 million. Disaster operation, 55,000 families for 55 million. This is the food bags during disasters, and we have targeted 50,000 individuals and or families, and that is 50 million. Kalusugan food truck during disaster operations, we targeted 1,800 first responders, and that is 1,620,000. Libreng sakay, we target 1,200,000 commuters in the amount of 16,363,000. And then the You Can Be VP program, we targeted 2 learners, and that is for the amount of 1 million. And for the wheelchair distribution of 1,160 clients for 5,800,000, and other supplies, as an example, the Al Janaza kits that you saw in the AVP, we targeted 1,160 clients for 5,800,000 for a total amount of 275,183,000. So this is the comparative annual budget and the proposed 2026 budget by allotment class. So from the year 2024 in the GAA, the total was 700,019,000. In 21, the approved budget in the GAA was 908,790,000. In 2022, the approved budget in the GAA was 713,408,000. In 2023, the approved budget in the GAA was 2,356,614. In 2024, in the GAA, it was 1,885,462,000. And for 2025, the approved budget in the GAA was 744,146,000. In 2026, as I mentioned, the approved from DBM for the NEP is 902,895,000. So this is the comparative budget in the as a graph. These are the projects of the Magnegosyo Taday, medical and burial assistance, disaster response operations. You Can Be VP, Kalusugan food trucks, Magnegosyo Taday, Libreng Sakay, the Tondo Manila Extension Office, the Bicol Region Satellite Office, Eastern Visayas Satellite, the Cagayan Valley in Isabela City, Pangasinan in Dagupan City, Tondo in Manila, Legazpi City in Bicol, Tacloban City in Eastern Visayas, for Cebu, Bohol, and Siquijor in Cebu City, Panay and Negros Islands in Bacolod City, Caraga in Butuan City, Barm in Cotabato City, Western Mindanao in Zamboanga City, and Southern Mindanao in Davao City. This is the 2024 physical performance. These are the socio-economic program deliveries. We targeted 1,013,620 beneficiaries, and we accomplished 1,780,079. Next slide. This is the financial performance of the Office of the Vice President as of end December or December 31. So the allotment is 2,084,451,000. The obligation is 1,783,287,000. Disbursements were at 1,534,228. And then we have balances, an obligated allotment of 301 million and unpaid obligations of 249 million. So this is the targets for the performance of the year 2025. So currently, the cutoff is July 31, 2025. Our target is for the entire year is 1,047,935. And our first semester accomplishment is at 595,757. So we're more than halfway of our targets. This is the financial performance of the Office of the Vice President for the year 2025. Approved is 903,429,000. The obligation is 309,691,000. Disbursements at 206,834,000. Unobligated allotment is at 593,738,000, and unpaid obligations at 102,857,000. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Vice President. The committee invites questions from the members, particularly on the utilization of the previous budget and the proposed allocation for fiscal year 2026. In accordance with the long-standing and respected tradition of the House of Representatives to accord preferential treatment to the minority members, followed by the independent and majority, wala nang majority, in alternating manner. The chair now recognizes the minority.
Madam Chair.
Yeah.
We'd like to recognize the Senior Deputy Minority Leader, Egay Erice.
Madam Chair, we in the minority believe that there are no contentious issues in the budget of the Office of the Vice President, especially in the 2025 to 2026 budget of the said agency. Much that we would like to honor the tradition that we extend to the Office of the Vice President, there are two members of the minority who would like to ask questions. Kaya po, in the interest of the rights of some of our members, may I yield the floor to two members, Representative Trino and Representative Ko, to propound their questions. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Is it all right?
Madam Chair, to the presiding officer, sir, before we proceed, I just want to be clarified with the status of the votation we have had last Friday, when we all agreed that Tuesday, which is today, we will grant parliamentary courtesy. this is the long-standing traditional parliamentary courtesy granted to a co-equal branch or a higher official of the government. Let me be just clarified before we proceed.
Last Friday's, there was no votation, Congressman. So we proceed as planned today.
I understand there was a votation, and in fact, it was objected by the two members of minority of the minority.
No,
Notwithstanding
we failed to divide the House.
Yes, but I think we have agreed that last Friday we will provide parliamentary courtesy to the office of the Vice President.
Yes, the request of the minority is just two interpellators. It is up for Madam President, Madam Vice President, if she wants to answer or not.
Just one more manifestation to the chairperson and to the presiding officer. Also last Friday, I reiterated that this long-standing tradition of granting parliamentary immunity has been practiced to all the former vice presidents that I have experienced in this chamber. And the tradition is granted first to the co-equal branch of the government, and it is on the part of the president or the vice president or to the co-equal branch of government who will reply that he or she is waiving his parliamentary inquiry. So I think it would be proper and fitting that we would ask first the Vice President if she's willing to
Mr.
waive.
Chair, may I be recognized?
I think I still have the floor.
So there's a question whether or not we should afford. Yes, we have discussed last Friday to afford the second highest position of the land, parliamentary courtesy. But at the request of the minority, they just want to ask, two of the minority members just want to ask questions, and it is the prerogative of the Madam Vice President to answer or not. Is that clear?
So that clarifies my question. We
Thank
will
you.
be asking the Vice President to answer or not the question.
Madam Vice President, can we go ahead?
Madam Chair, just an inquiry.
My apologies, Representative Marcoleta. Her Excellency
Just
was
a
about
very-
to respond to the query before we recognize
An
you.
inquiry
Let's
po.
please yield the floor to the Vice President as she was about to make a response to that. Your Excellency, if you would like to respond po.
Yes, I waive the privilege, sir.
Wait.
Yes.
We now recognize Minority Leader Congressman Antonio Tenio.
Maraming salamat, Mr. Chair. Magandang umaga po sa Office of the Vice President at sa Vice President. Well, unang tanong po ay kaugnay sa presentation na binigay ng Vice President. Napansin ko po roon, nasa budget na 903.4 million for 2025. Bagaman hindi pa po tapos ang taon, ang obligation rate po ay 34.3% lamang at ang disbursement rate ay 66.8%. So nasa kalagitnaan po tayo ng taon, pero mukhang mababa po yung obligation rate. Ano po ang paliwanag dito?
Yes, marami kaming procurement na tumagal. Hindi siya nasimulan by January. Madam Chair, yung procurement. So maraming mga procurement na June, July, August na nasimulan.
May dahilan po ba kung bakit June, July, August na nasimulan ang mga proyekto?
Madam Chair, dahil kailangan marami pong mga attachments na nire-require para sa procurement, and lahat po ng mga documents na yun ay hindi po siya nakukuha ng isa o dalawang araw lamang.
So, middle of the year pa po na naisaayos ang requirements for bidding. Parang ganun po. Tama po ba ang intindi ko?
Yes, Madam Chair.
Yes, thank you. Okay. Ngayon, mabalik po tayo sa last August 8, 2024, nag-issue po ng Notice of Disallowance ang COA, Commission on Audit, sa 73.28 million na halaga ng confidential funds for 105 activities supposedly held by the Office of the Vice President from December 13 to December 31. Sabi ng COA ay wala raw accomplishment reports na naipakita or sinubmit ang Office of the Vice President para dito at inaatas na o inuutos na ibalik ang pera ng Vice President ni Gina Acosta bilang Special Disbursing Officer at ni Julieta Villa del Rey bilang Chief Accountant. Mag-iisang taon na po, ayon sa COA rules ay may 6 months po para mag-appeal. Ano na po ang status ng Notice of Disallowance na ito?
Madam Chair, I suggest that the Congressman ask this during the hearing of the Commission on Audit.
Madam Chair, I'm asking the question now from the Office of the Vice President.
Madam Chair, this is a status of documents inside the Office of the Commission on Audit. So it has to be the Commission on Audit who will answer what is happening to this Notice of Disallowance.
Nagsubmit po ba ng appeal ang Office of the Vice President sa Notice of Disallowance?
Kung yung Congressman Tinio, kung ang Notice of Disallowance was rectified by COA, wala na po yun. Pero kung yung Notice of Disallowance ay meron na silang final adjudication and then merong order yon na final yung Notice of Disallowance. So, for your information, I will check with COA and get the records and give it to you. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. Well, next question po ay kaugnay po sa Notice of Disallowance. Ang sabi po kasi ng COA, December 30, yung mga 105 activities na inilunsad dun sa mga dinisilaw na activities ay nangyari between December 13 to December 31. And yet, sa mga nakaraang hearing ay napag-alaman po na December 20 pa po na ilabas ang SARO at na-withdraw yung 125 million. Kaya nga sinasabing nagastos ito in 11 days from December 20 to December 31. So ang tanong lang po natin, ano po ang paliwanag doon sa nakapamahagi na kayo ng mga sinasabing reward money noong December 13 pa lamang samantalang hindi pa po lumalabas ang pera ng confidential funds. Pwede po bang may paliwanag yon?
Madam Chair, this is the subject of an impeachment trial, and I would not like to discuss the defense for the impeachment trial.
Representative
Chair,
Pino,
wala
please
naman pong-
proceed with the next question.
Madam Chair, I would just like to note na wala pong impeachment trial sa kasalukuyan. Madam Chair, in fact, it is archived in the Senate. No? Okay, so next question na po. No? Lumabas din po sa nakaraang mga hearing sa House na nag-submit po ang Office of the Vice President ng 2,670 accomplishment reports at kasama para po sa liquidation ng 500 million pesos worth of confidential funds under the Office of the Vice President. At ayon sa investigasyon ay 1,322 out of 1,992 names in the OVP ARs submitted to the PSA have no birth records. So kasama po dito yung mga pangalang Mary Grace Piatos, Fernando Tempura, meron pang Shell Jokno. No?
Kindly wind up your
Opo.
question.
Again, pwede po bang mapaliwanag ng Vice Presidente kung bakit ganon ang sinubmit at bakit walang supporting documents ang mga accomplishment reports na ito?
Madam Chair, again, first, if the committee would like to ask how the Commission on Audit conducts its audit, I request that all the questions be propounded during the hearing of the Commission on Audit. Second, the subject confidential funds is a matter in impeachment proceedings, which is archived, but there is a pending motion for reconsideration in the Supreme Court. I cannot discuss defense strategy. Number 3, I cannot discuss intelligence operations and cannot explain how intelligence operations are done without compromising national security.
Thank you, Madam Chair. My next question.
Congressman Tenyo, last question.
Opo, last question.
Please wind up.
Opo. So, napabalita po no na mula July of last year hanggang sa kasalukuyan ay meron pong 13 trips ang Vice President overseas, no? So mula po sa Germany, Japan, Hong Kong, Netherlands, Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, Australia, South Korea, Kuwait, Paris, at several po sa Netherlands. Umaabot po sa at least 60 days po na on leave ang presidente at marami po pero hindi lahat ay sinasabing personal leave, no? So sa mga trips po na ito, ilan po ang naging personal leave at ilan ang on official duty at magkano po ang total na budget na ginastos ng Office of the Vice President para sa mga official leave at personal leave na nangyari?
So,
Madam Chair, yes.
Last question, Madam Vice President.
Yes. Madam Chair, may I ask what date do you want me to start with the destinations? July 2024.
No pizza daw yun?
Mr. Chair, from July 2024, a personal trip to Germany.
Okay.
Then January 2025,
July 24. We'll
personal
start.
Trip to Japan and so on.
Yes. We'll start with July 2024. So, number 1, under the Civil Service Commission rules, there is no allotted leave for the President and Vice President. We cannot both file a leave. So the only thing that I need when I travel overseas is a travel authority from the Office of the President. All my travels were issued travel authority by the Office of the Vice President. And this implies that all these trips were approved by the Office of the Vice President. So, from July 2024, I went to Germany. In December 2024, I went to Denmark. In January 2025, I went to Japan. In the 3rd and 4th week of January, I went back to Japan. In February of last 3rd week and last week of February, I went back to Japan. On March, I went to Hong Kong. On March, I went to the Netherlands. On May, I went to Qatar and the Netherlands. On June, I went to Vietnam, Cambodia, and Malaysia. On June, I went to Australia. On July, I went to the Netherlands and the Republic of Korea. And very recently, from August to September, I went to Kuwait, the Netherlands, France, and Belgium. And number 3, no public funds were used for all my travels. I did not charge representation. I did not charge tickets. I did not charge per dime for all my travels in the office of the Vice President. So if you can see,
O di ba, hindi pa ba malaking sampal ito sa mga tumitira o bumabanat kay BP Sara? Narinig po natin, oo, aminado ho ang ating BP Sarang nagtatravel sa iba't ibang bansa. Pero ano pong sinabi niya? Hindi ho niya ginagamit ang public funds. Hindi niya ginagamit ang pondo ng pagka-vice presidente niya. Di ba? Sariling bulsa niya po yan. Yan po kasi ang mahirap sa ating mga kababayan, mga bidya. Di ba? Lagi ho siyang binabanatan na ginagamit niya, nilulustay niya yung pera ng bayan sa pagta-travel-travel niya. Pero ano po yan? Narinig naman po natin na hindi siya gumagamit ng public funds. Di ba? Nakakahiya lang yung mga putak ng putak dyan na wala naman talagang alam sa kinikilos nitong isang BP Sara. Kaya mga dito na rin natin tatapusin ang ating reaction video.